Hello everyone, and welcome to the entryway of my apartment in New York City. The placement of this particular work has multiple meanings. It has practical purposes, but it also has sort of metaphorical significance as well. So from a practical standpoint, I really like having works in the entryway of my apartment because it's a little more protected from the sun. And while I want to have all the artworks that I collect out as much as possible so that I can enjoy them like a normal person, I don't want to live in a museum or like hide artworks away. I also want my art to live long, happy lives. So my entryway has less sunlight, even though it is still pretty bright in here. But another reason for wanting this particular work in my entryway is that the work is titled Modern Visitors, and it's by an artist, German artist, Sophie von Hellermann. She is based in the UK, but there's a lot of historical significance with this work that I will jump into, and I apologize in advance for how my German pronunciation is, but I'm gonna do my best to do this work justice. So this was an exhibit from Sophie von Hellermann that took place in Berlin at Ventrup Gallery. It's a gallery that I love very much in Berlin, and the exhibit was in 2022. This work was also created in 2022. And the thing that was really special, even though every exhibit from Sophie von Hellermann is special, this one was extra special because it coincided with a few interesting pieces of history. So it marked the 100th year of Walter Rathenau's assassination. And you might be thinking, why would you be inspired by a particular assassination? But it was really a celebration of his life and the work that he did. He was a very significant historical figure. He helped stabilize Germany after World War I. He was the foreign minister of the Weimar Republic. I believe he was the only and first Jewish foreign minister as well, which was very significant, obviously, for that time after World War I, and he was assassinated in 1922 by the far right because of his views. He was very much an advocate for democracy and reconciliation. So this work is representing the palace where he lived. He restored it. It's in Brandenburg, Germany. Restored it when he lived there. And these individuals dancing in front of it, they're not only something that von Hellermann often has in her works, these dancing individuals, but they represent this interconnectedness and the fact that we are all connected as humans, which I think is a very powerful message and a lovely message, obviously, to have in your entryway as well. This concept of togetherness, it's a welcoming gesture. Rathenau wrote a book called From Things to Come, which is also the title of the exhibit that took place at Ventrup Gallery. It was published in 1917. He wrote it at the palace, and a major theme of the book was about the dangers of mechanization and materialistic thinking. And probably the coolest thing is not only was this exhibit at the gallery inspired by the palace, inspired by Rathenau, but von Hellermann actually was able to transform a couple of rooms in the palace with her paintings, and so people could go and see them. And this is another characteristic of von Hellermann's practice. In fact, and by characteristic I mean her painting on interiors, as well as even sometimes furniture. If you go into Pilar Carias in London, in their little office space at their Savile Row gallery, you can actually see that she's painted the ceiling and the walls a little bit, which is very cool. So the fact she was able to do this for such a historical place within Germany and have that coincide with the exhibit, it's just very interesting and significant on so many levels. So that's why I feel very blessed to not only have a work from the show, but to have a work depicting the actual palace that is inspiring the whole show. So very meta on lots of levels. And the murals that she created are actually still there. So it's something that you can still visit. I will leave information about not only this exhibit, but about the palace if you happen to be in Brandenburg, Germany, and you want to see von Hellermann's murals in person, if you are so lucky. So I hope you enjoyed this little insight into one of the pieces in my collection. I'm very lucky to have a few pieces from Sophie von Hellermann, and yeah, always fun to share a little bit of backstory. Since I can't physically welcome you all into my home, I can virtually just share a little piece with you.